Elden Ring Nightreign just got a new DLC that dropped on the 4th of December called the Forsaken Hollows, worth $15 American, which added 2 new Night Lords, 2 new characters to play as, and 1 new map to play on. Now, if you've been around this channel, you know me and Nightreign didn't have a great start, to the point where I even refunded it when I bought it, but I eventually bought it back, played through it, and beat it, and thoroughly enjoyed the game once I got to understand what the game is actually about and how it works a bit better. Now that we have a brand new DLC to jump back in to the lands between again, and well, how does it hold up to the rest of the game? I will say the 2 new bosses, Night Lords, are pretty cool. I like their designs, they're challenging, and they offer you some good varying gameplay. They're definitely different from one another, and they don't feel just like a copy and paste of another boss in the game. As well as offering 4 bosses at the end of day 1 and day 2, depending on which boss you go after. So there are definitely new bosses at the end of each day. Well, new in quotations, because, some of them are they're all taken from older games, besides, the ones at the end of day 3. But is it enough, is my question. Well, I don't think it is, because even if they have 1 more DLC coming in the future, if you look at the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, yeah, this is nothing compared to that, because Shadow of the Erdtree was simply put the best DLC in, I think, any video game, hands down. It almost felt like a sequel in its own right, and just offered up so much, and it was definitely worth the $40 it was asking you for, because you 100% got your money's worth. And any DLC following that looks tiny in comparison. But I hear some of you saying, well, those are 2 different games. You'd be correct. I just say that because, well, when you put that type of standard for yourself, you kind of fall into the trap of fans kind of just expecting more from your game. For you not to just do the bare minimum of what the asking price is, and for you to kind of go above and beyond. So what you get here is 2 new characters to play as, being the Scholar and the Undertaker, which definitely adds more playstyles to the game. And like I said, the 2 Night Lords added are somewhat challenging and a good addition to all the other Night Lords in the game. But I just can't help but feel that FromSoft could have done just a little more. They definitely could have added another new map and a new section of the expansive open world of the first Elden Ring. They could have added a lot more weapons, for as, that whole DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, had plenty of weapons that they could have just taken from and added in there, making it kind of truly feel like an addition worth coming back to. And hell, even if they added that as a free update and not part of the Forsaken Hollows DLC, I would have been just fine with it as well. Like how they added in a free update the Deep of Night mode, which is just a harder and more challenging version of those 3-day expeditions you set out on. All I'm saying is that when you've been eating good for so long, you start to notice when the meals start coming out with less and less things on the plate. And, you start questioning some things. That's just all I'm doing here. I'm not really disappointed with the DLC by any means, because I know that this is something different from the actual Elden Ring game. But, however, what I do notice is that they could have done, well, a bit more to just sweeten the deal and make the DLC kind of feel like a new season, like they do in online multiplayer games. When they do seasonal updates, they added, well, a lot of things to make the players come back. And even though if it's not the paid content they're coming back for, they do add a bunch of free updates along with it to make it feel newer. Like, for example, in Battlefield 6 or Fortnite, they usually add like a new map, a new game mode, and other things like new weapons and stuff, along with the skins and the battle pass, to make it feel complete and make people want to come back and want to just explore more or get back into the game. But here, it just feels a bit shallow when you know that they're capable of providing such great DLCs and all their other titles. Once again, I'm not bashing it, I just feel somewhat let down with how little there is to do besides hunt down a few bosses. Either way, it's not a bad DLC. I would say if you want more Elden Ring Nightreign, you pick it up. If you haven't bought the game yet, just pick up the deluxe edition. I believe it's worth $60. You're definitely gonna get a lot of value, especially with, you get that other DLC coming down the line already with that value pack. So, just that would be my advice. Don't buy this if you have the game. You don't really need to go out and buy this. I would kind of just wait for maybe both DLCs to drop. That kind of be my advice. Either way, that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.